let's talk a little bit about any potential risks for Moderna. Taylor, do we have a yellow, red, orange flag?
Yeah, a couple. One, it was very expensive. I mean, it's up to a $73 billion market cap. That's very high. And so, a question to keep in your back of your mind is how big is the market for COVID-19 going to be? Is it going to be consistent, or is it going to be like a big lump and then disappear? If it disappears from Moderna and they don't have, if they drop from 11 billion to 1 billion or less than a billion in revenues, probably their market cap is going to take a hit. So that's a question. And it's not just for Moderna, but it's a question for investors to think about. And honestly, almost in every stock you have, how is COVID-19 affecting it now? How is it going to change it as we come out of this crisis, as we come out of this pandemic, as we normalize? How will this affect our different stocks that we have? And I think I have Novavax, which is another a competitor to Moderna, but it's something that every vaccine company, you got to keep in the back of your mind. Okay, what's going to happen when hopefully COVID disappears? So that would be a red flag for me, is how much of that market cap is COVID related, and how much of that revenue is going to disappear. I kind of hope it does. I would love it if it's a one and done shot, to be honest. I mean, in my vaccine company, Moderna, I would just love to get rid of this disease. But I do think, it's wonderful what these companies are doing. And, I think it's certainly the investors who have risked their money to put it into these vaccine stocks have done really well, and these companies have really saved the world. I think. I mean, this is a horrific disease, and we're going to vaccinate. So I mean, but that would be my one red flag, the 73. And the other is kind of smaller. There are distribution issues with mRNA vaccines, and it is a question of they have 30 days until the vaccine goes bad. So it's a question of, are they going to be able to get the shots into people's arms in 30 days? And that's something that's kind of the downside of mRNA technology, is it can be a little unstable, and you need to refrigerate. And Moderna's in a stronger position than the Pfizer one, because the Pfizer one has to be stored at like negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit or something. Moderna's can be just refrigerated, but they do have that 30-day window, so that there may be distribution issues with the mRNA vaccines.
Yeah, so I'm going to put the CDC's vaccine tracker into the chat. So Moderna has administered 28 million. I can't tell if this is doses or people. It's doses. So 28 million doses. Meanwhile, Pfizer and BioNTech have administered almost 30 million. So Moderna basically caught up, because they were, second to getting that authorization in the US. And those numbers were very different for a while, because Pfizer and BioNTech had a head start. So It is a good sign to see Moderna, they're only 2 million doses behind Pfizer BioNTech. So that is definitely a good sign. I think last time I checked, we have about 5% of the US population fully vaccinated at this point. So I know we're expecting to see doses ramping up in the next few weeks. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on the distribution. It will be a question about, if and when Johnson & Johnson's vaccine gets emergency use authorization, will there be a space in the US market? The government has already purchased enough vaccine from Pfizer and Moderna to vaccinate about 300 million Americans. So definitely the valuation is a question. I'll just mention, though, that, it is David Gardner's, one of his rule breaker kind of guiding principles is not to put too much stock into valuation, because good stocks go up and they go up and they go up. You look at Amazon, Tesla. I, for one, actually bought Moderna when it went down, because a Bank of America analyst said this stock's overvalued, they downgraded it, caused a temporary dip. So you can use that valuation element to your advantage. And that's how I became a Moderna investor.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Have you done well, Corinne? What was your...
I am up like $30. I only bought one share. You know, I didn't want to sink too much in because I am, you know, it's risky, but you know, I bought it 145. It's at like almost 180 now. So, you know, it's important to pay attention to valuation, but you shouldn't let it keep you from buying good stocks, because good stocks are going to go up over time. We're playing the long game.